Imagine stepping back into a room where nothing has changed. Except you. Because once you've heard the first hour of Nichol Kessinger's interview, every pause, every breath, every carefully chosen word takes on a different meaning. Welcome to Hour 2, the continuation of a conversation that has already raised more questions than answers. This is where the tone shifts. The detectives are no longer simply listening, they're studying her. The atmosphere tightens, her guard rises. And suddenly, the things she doesn't say become louder than the things she does. In this next hour, we see the cracks widen. The inconsistencies, the rehearsed lines, the discomfort whenever the timeline edges too close to the truth. And as you watch, ask yourself the same question investigators quietly began to consider. Is Nichol telling the whole story, or just the safest version of it? So settle in. Because Hour 2 peels back more layers, exposes new contradictions, and reveals moments where even the detectives seem unsure whether they're hearing clarity or a carefully managed narrative. Let's continue.
From the apartment is I was trying to just make his life convenient with like him, his ex, his kids, and all the stuff that he needs to do and work. And he was like, don't worry about it. Their school's pretty centrally located, so anywhere in the area that we were discussing will be fine. And he just left it at that. So he didn't even tell me, which was fine. I respect that.
Daycare is obviously very expensive for a 3 and 5 year old.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So
I understand.
Did he ever bring did he ever discuss that?
Never.
Okay.
Never. Like I said, the only financial thing he ever said is just like, she just likes to spend money, like a lot of it. So that was just kind of the vibe that I got from that, and that it was a lifestyle that she liked to live, like very, like materialistic kind of lifestyle.
Wanted to
like
project a certain image.
Yes, all the time. And he said that was why they got that house too. It's like she wants everybody to think that we live a certain way and that we can like sustain all this stuff. And he's like, and we can't. And I told him, I said, when you're in those situations, why don't you, I'm like, do you like voice your concern about this? And he told me, he's like, when I try to talk to her, he's like, she's really bossy and she usually shuts me out. And he's like, when she does that, he's like, I just let it go. And I was just like, all right. I mean, I don't try to like interfere with how those two interact. But I did ask about it because I'm just curious, because I would never put myself in a situation where someone was like, you know what, we're going to live in this house that costs like double what we can afford, and that's how it's going to be because I want everybody to think we're fancy. Because I wouldn't do that. I mean, to me, like, I wouldn't put up with somebody doing that to me. And I'm not saying that that's what she was doing. I mean, for all I know, he could have been completely lying about this. He could be the one spending all the money.
Sure.
You know?
This is just what he told you.
Exactly. So, I mean, that's as far as I can interpret it. So I can't be like, well, oh, she needs to do this and she needs to do that. But he voiced his concern where it's just like financially, I'm in a very bad spot that I don't need to be in, but I'm stuck in. And that was kind of where he was at. So, but I mean, he was never like mean when he talked about her. He was never hostile, like nothing like that. He just, I mean, very calmly like, this is the situation. And I think the only reason that he even provided me with that information is because I asked.
Okay. You said something about her being controlling or
bossy.
Bossy.
That's what he said. Bossy.
In like all aspects of their life, or what? Do you know exactly what he meant by that? How that affected him?
I think he was just saying when he voices his opinion, it's not her. Is the gist of that, which I thought, from what it sounded like from their separation, from them trying to separate, that was a big deal for him, where he was saying that the reason that they don't really get along anymore is because he feels like he's not heard. He says that he comes home from work and he tries to talk to her and she'll just be like, 1 minute, I'm on the phone. Or she'll like scroll through social media and she like doesn't acknowledge him. And he said that he'd addressed it with her a few times and they're calm. He said they don't really like fight. Like they don't scream and yell. And he said he'd addressed it with her a few times and he said it just fell on deaf ears. He's like, she just seems like she's not interested anymore. And I think it made him sad because, I mean, he was like all about his kids, and he seemed like he was trying to be all about her, but it just wasn't reciprocated. And I think at that point he was just like, they just kind of like fell apart.
Okay.
Just kind of drifted apart.
Was that your words or his?
What, that they
fell apart?
Those are mine.
Okay.
Those are mine. He just said that they didn't communicate very well. And it wasn't in a aggressive way communicate. It was just the fact that they didn't like communicate at all. They didn't talk.
Yeah, they had children, and was there ever mention that he was trying to resolve or save his marriage for the children's sake? A lot of people talk about that. Did he talk about that?
I mean, he told me that he believed that the only reason that those two had still been doing it as long as they've been doing it, he told me that her and him have had communication issues for about 6 years, where she just seems really like detached and uninterested in like trying to like build something with him. And he said, and I said, 6 years is a really long time for you guys to not fix that, considering they were married for what, 8? I mean, that's like the majority of their marriage. And he said, sometimes I think we just do it for the kids or something like that. I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen these conversations, so I don't know like verbatim, but it was pretty much just like
get you to remember something.
Yeah, like, but he said it wasn't just him though. He was like, I think she does that too. Okay. You know, I mean, and it was like this equal part where they are just kind of like going through the motions, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, when he told me that she was cool with like the 50% everything and just like breaking it off and being really civil about it, it kind of made sense to me, because I was like, the way he made this sound, it wasn't, oh, she's this horrible person, or oh, I'm this horrible person. It was, her and I have drifted so far apart that it's kind of a mutual agreement that this is not going to work.
So in those 6 years, though, they had 2 children.
Yep.
And you said earlier you did not know she was pregnant until reading the newspaper.
Yep.
So that never came up in any conversation. There was no indications that was going on.
None.
He never hinted to anything like
Nothing.
that. As far as you knew, he was just leaving her. He had 2 children, and that was the final take on that.
Yes.
Okay.
I know why he lied to me. He lied to me because if I'd have known that he had a child on the way, I'd have never wasted my time with him in the first place. Like, none of this would have ever even occurred if he would have just told me the truth.
So do you think if he found out that you, if, let's say this week you guys were to go look at some apartments, and this is hypothetical, but you've never found out that his wife was pregnant, would that have changed anything? Like you just said, if I knew his wife was pregnant, I wouldn't be in this picture. So if his wife was not pregnant, and forgive me, but if he takes her out of the picture, you're never going to know that she was pregnant, right?
What do you mean takes her out of the picture? Like,
if he murdered her, she's out of the picture. You're never going to know if she was pregnant. If he can get away with murder, you're not going to... I got divorced from my wife. You say, do you understand what I'm saying here? If she's gone...
but this...
Don't lead.
Hypothetically.
Please.
Yeah.
Don't
hypothetically.
lead on.
If she...
Okay.
You understand where I'm going. If
right,
you didn't know...
You're leading into
right.
questions that are nothing with your...
If you didn't know, though...
Wait, Nick.
That she was there.
Did you hear what I said?
I'm following you. I just want her to answer a question that relates to... She said something that's important. That if he didn't have a child on the way, or if she didn't know that, she would have continued the relationship, right?
But he killed his kids. At what point does he think that I'm going to be in a relationship?
I'm not talking about the children. I'm just talking specifically about her. If you only knew, if the kids were still here, and he called you and said, "I'm divorced from my wife," and he gets away with this. Do you understand what I'm thinking from his aspect?
I still wouldn't do it. I still wouldn't do it because I'd be like, where did she go?
Okay.
because I'm under the impression that she's a really good mom. Like, he never bashed her momming skills. Like, no, I wouldn't, no.
Okay.
No.
And that, you see where I'm trying to take that?
Yes.
So you guys never had a conversation about the child, period.
I didn't know
Okay.
at all.
All right. And by your words, if you did know, you would have ended the relationship.
Well, because it wouldn't have made sense to me that he's like, I'm getting separated. Oh, by the way, I have a baby on the way. It's like,
That's 15 weeks.
You are a liar. You're just trying to sleep with me. That's what I would have probably interpreted that as, and I'd have just shut that off at work, and that would have been the end of it.
Okay. All right. We can move past that. The week that he comes back from North Carolina, you don't remember, somewhere in the first couple weeks of August.
Yeah, I think it was the second week, but I don't remember off the top of my head.
So we'll just use August as a time frame. Is that fair? Because you know he left in July and he comes back in August. How many times do you think you see him?
I saw him a few times. I saw him this past Saturday. I saw him the Wednesday before that. And he wanted to see me more. I was the one who wanted my space. I was like, nope, your kids are home. Go hang out with your kids. And even on Wednesday, I cut it short. Like, he came and hang out with me for a few hours, and then I was like, go chill with your kids.
Okay.
I was always like,
Do
really
you
respectful
know
of their
specifically where you guys went? Did you meet at your house? Did you guys go to any restaurants? Did you go to establishments? Where'd you go?
Last Wednesday, he came to my house, and this past Saturday, we went to, what's the name of that bar that we used to go to? It's not the same, the Lazy Dog, but it's the one off of 144th and I-25. I think it's 144th, up there.
And it's the Lazy Dog?
Yes.
Did he ever mention a Rockies game that night?
No, I don't think so. But the Broncos were playing.
Okay.
Which we couldn't see because they sat us in really crappy spots, but it's okay because it's preseason. But,
So do you recall what time you went there?
no. I remember, well, kind of. So he had to get a babysitter that night.
Do you know who that was?
Somebody who's really young. I remember I asked him who his babysitter was, and he's like, we have two. This girl's only 17, but the other one's out of town. So this girl's going to stay, and she doesn't do overnights. So I got to be back by 10. And I remember her saying that, and him saying that. And I don't know what time he got to my house. It was between, I want to say like 5:30. It might have been 5, but I don't think so. Because I think the babysitter, if I remember correctly, showed up at like 4:30 or something. And he was like, I want to spend time getting my kids acclimated to her, and then I will come.
So his children didn't even know her?
Oh, no, they knew her, but he was saying like he likes to like stay there for a little while. He doesn't just like walk out the door when
Okay.
they show up. It's like a transitional thing. And so that's why I'm saying I don't know how long it was. I want to say like 5:30, and then he had to be back by 10, so he left at like 9 something to be back by 10.
So he
probably
picks
like-
you up? What was he driving?
No, he didn't pick me up. He came to my house. We drove my truck.
Okay. So he gets to your house. You know what he was driving to get to your house?
Off the top of my head, I don't remember. I'm pretty sure he usually drives that Lexus, but he doesn't always park it in my complex because the parking, there's not good spaces. So where you guys pick me up at, a lot of times he'll just park out there because there's room.
Okay.
So that kind of works so that because there's just not a lot of room in my apartment complex. But off the top of my head, I don't know what he was driving.
What kind of truck do you drive?
I drive a Toyota 4Runner.
Okay. So you guys take your 4Runner to the Lazy Dog.
Yep.
And you said they sat you in crappy location.
It's just
Where
the
where
best.
were you inside the bar?
When you walk in, you just hang a right, and we were like one of the first two booths on the right when you walk in the door.
Okay.
It's just not a good, it's a good spot, but just not for the TVs. And we actually went to the other Lazy Dog. We went to the one that you and me go to. Where's that at? Federal and 100 and
20th.
it's 120th and Federal, and we went there, and they have a different menu, and I was like, I don't want to eat this food, so we should go to the other one.
So initially you go to the 120th
Yes.
location. Did you actually get seated?
Kind of, sort of. They were like cleaning off a table, and we were standing there, just kind of looking at the beer menu and the food menu, and I was like, I don't want this, and so we
6
left.
o'clock?
Probably somewhere around there, 6:30, and then we left, and went to the other one, and we ate dinner.
And you're in like first or second booth, right to the right of the door.
Uh-huh.
I'm just asking because if they have video, we want to be able to verify that. So that's why it's important. And you're there for how long?
I don't know. Probably we didn't stay for dessert, so I don't know. How long's the restaurant take? Like an hour and a half?
I don't know. I've never been to the Lazy Dog.
I don't know. Probably about an hour and a half, and then we went back to my house for a little bit. Hung out at my house for a little while, and then he had to leave, and then he left.
Do you recall what time he left?
Off the top of my head, no. I remember he was like gonna be late to be back at 10. I think there's a text message where he starts texting me when he's home at his house.
Okay.
So you can probably figure that out. And I remember I texted him back and I was like, damn, that was quick. Or wow, that was really quick. He's like, yeah, I even had time to stop at the ATM or stop at the gas station, stop somewhere to get money to pay the babysitter.
Okay.
And I was just like thinking like, well, that was really fast. But I think he was still like a little late coming back, but nothing too drastic. So he probably left my house like somewhere around 9:30ish.
All right. And you go straight home. He texts you.
Well, I was already home.
Right. No, he texts you. He goes straight home from your house and he texts you that he's home.
Mm-hmm.
So that should be in your text message.
It should be. I'm pretty positive that was not a phone call. I'm almost positive that was a text. Sometimes I get them flip-flopped or I don't remember, but
That's
sometimes I know. I'm pretty sure that one was a text.
Saturday, during your dinner, what kind of conversation did you guys have?
I don't even so he's been trying to like eat a little healthier than he normally does, and he's always like been in the working out since I knew him, and he like tries to eat clean, but he was trying to like step it up a little bit, and nothing like the people who do like the competitions and the shows that are all super restrictive. I mean, it's nothing like that. It's just like day-to-day general maintenance, but it's how I eat, and it's pretty healthy. And he's been losing a lot of weight. He lost, I want to say like 13 pounds in the time that we were hanging out. And honestly, when you start eating a little bit cleaner and you start working out a little bit harder, the first couple months, especially for a man, because they lose weight faster, it's not something that's like that drastic to me, but it did stand out that it was like a little much. And so I was like, whoa, like maybe you're not eating enough macronutrients, so let me look at them. So he had been working on his MyFitnessPal app and like programming like all the stuff he eats, and I just started going through them, and I was like trying to figure out like where his ratios were, and we actually spent a lot of time doing that because he'd asked me to do it for him, because I just was at the point where I was like, if his weight loss slows down in a few weeks, he'll be fine, and if it doesn't, then his macros are a little off. It's not like that big of a deal like in the workout community. This is like a very normal thing. But
Did you have any other outside concerns, like potential drug use, alcohol use, any of that stuff that led you to go, oh, he's lost an extreme amount of weight in such a short period of time?
No, and I wouldn't call it extreme. It was just like, it was a lot. But I mean, when I first started working out, I dropped like 12 pounds in 2 weeks when I first started like hitting it hard with the diet. So the fact that he lost like that much weight, it wasn't, like I said, it was not a surprising amount. I just didn't want it to be like a sustained amount. But no, I didn't think anything weird of it just because of like how interknitted I am with the like workout community, and I know like this is possible. But it just, the thing that concerned me about it, I guess, and it wasn't even concerned, but the thing that like kind of red lighted me like, hey, this might be carrying on, is the fact that his macros were like pretty dialed in. Like I had wrote them and he like didn't stay exactly on them, but his calorie intake was about where it needed to be, my experience anyways, for like what he was trying to achieve. And so I don't know, he didn't seem to have a problem with it. He liked where he was at with all of that.
So that was your main conversation Saturday?
That was like a big chunk while we were there, is like us actually going through, because I was like going through each item like, why are your ratios off?
Do you know where his kids or wife were that night?
On Saturday?
Yeah, his kid. Well, you know his kids are with the babysitter. Do you know where his wife is?
She's in Arizona.
Okay. How do you know that?
Because he told me.
Okay. Do you know what she's doing there?
I think she's on a business trip. He didn't even tell me right away. He actually told me, I think, like on Saturday or something. It might have been like Friday or something. I honestly don't remember. I just remember I was like really surprised where he's like, hey, like, I'm going to try to get a babysitter if you want to hang out or something like that. And I was like, why do you need a babysitter? Like, your wife's home. He's like, no, she's out of town. I was like, oh,
Okay. Is there much conversation regarding that, her on being on a trip, or the children on during those conversations?
Not really. I just asked him what time she was coming home on Sunday, and he just said really late.
Okay.
And that was it. I mean, there's nothing really to talk about with that.
Okay. So your conversation's mainly health related. You guys return to your house, and then he goes home, and then you talk to him for a few hours on Sunday.
Did I? Are you asking me, or are you telling me?
I'm asking you.
Oh, I was like, I don't even know. Someday, honestly, so wait a minute. That was Saturday. We're talking about Saturday. We're not talking about Sunday right now.
Okay, so you're still on Saturday.
Yes.
You guys have a phone conversation when he gets home?
That was the day that he got the babysitter and I went out to dinner, not Sunday.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. I just want to make sure
That's
you
okay.
got your
Yep.
days right. So Saturday, yes, we went out. He had the babysitter. He went home. I'm sure we did. We always talk on the phone. And honestly, I mean, Mark asked me that the other day. He's like, how long are you on the phone? 15 minutes, 20 minutes? Like, you're going to have to look at the records, to be honest with you. Like, so much.
You like to talk. I can tell a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
400, when she was young, she'd crank out about 400 words a minute, gusts up to 600. That little thing can yak, man.
You're a talker, so I'm letting you talk.
I need to use the restroom.
Let me show you where it's at.
Can you
So-
give me some water while you're out there with
Sure.
him, please? Thank you.
Another bottle?
Let's
Yeah, at least one.
let's move to
Sunday.
Sunday. Well, let me reverse something. Your conversation with the children, or about the children, was there ever any talk about medical concerns with either of the children?
Well, I know Cece is allergic to not peanuts, like pine nuts. Pine nuts.
So she has a nut allergy.
Yes.
Did they take meds?
Yeah, I know that she had like an EpiPen, but as far as I know, she didn't have any meds. But I never asked. Like, I was just told like she has a pretty severe allergy, and
Enough to carry an EpiPen. That's pretty severe.
yeah. While we're on this, so when he was in North Carolina, this is all like hearsay now because it's like this is not a conversation. Like, he's telling me this stuff, but who knows exactly what happened. But he went out there to go see his family and her family. And while he was in town, before he went out to North Carolina, I guess his mother had accidentally, like, not exposed her to something with nuts, but had, like, given a product, I think it was like ice cream, to a different kid that could have traces of nuts or something. I don't know. But it was like his daughter was fine, but she was, like, in the range of contamination. And I think his wife was very upset about that. And when he got to North Carolina, he told me that he was supposed to spend like half time with them, half the time with her family, and that was supposed to be what it was. I don't know. But he said that he went to go see his family and they weren't answering the phone for like a day or two before he went out there. And then when he got there, there was a note on the door that said, son, if you step by, we're at the beach. And they ignored him for like most of the time that he was out there. And
His own family?
yes, his mom, his dad, and
What do
his
you-
sister.
What's the significance? Do you know why?
Yeah, he said, and again, I don't know what is true with this man anymore and what's not, but he told me that, like, leading up to it, I was like, well, why are your folks, like, ignoring you? And I was, like, really concerned about this. Like, every single day he would talk to me when he was out there, and I was like, you talked to your family today? You talked to your family today? Did you talk to your dad? What happened? Did you talk to him? No, I didn't. Or, yeah, I talked to my mom. Well, what'd she say? Are you going to hang out with him? Like, I wanted him to see his people because it's important. Family is an important thing. You know, it just needs to function properly. And,
Sure.
and so I was like, well, and he was like, well, they're ignoring me. And I was like, what do you think happened? And he's like, I'm not really sure, but I think something was said between my wife and them during that incident. And he's like, because
The
every time
peanut
yes,
or
that happened
nuts.
before he got there, yes. And he's like, because every time that I try to I talk about possibly going over there to see if they're home, she gets upset about it. And I was like, okay. And he told me that his mom and his wife did not get along at all. He said that his mom didn't even show up to his wedding because she's like really did not care for Shanann.
Okay.
So again, I don't know what's true and what's not, but I just know that there was like some tension there.
Mhm.
And again, like that part is like, I feel like it's almost third party, so that's why it's
Sure.
like I didn't even
Well, but
bring
it
up
came from
later.
him to you, so it's not. It is something that whether it's important or not, we can validate that. I'm sure we will be having some conversations with family. What does it mean? I don't know. But
Yeah, I don't know either, but I just know
so
like,
maybe she, I don't know.
well, and then he ended up seeing them on the last like full day that he was there, and they told him supposedly that she had gotten really upset and had screamed and yelled in front of Chris's sister's kids that are very young, and to his mom and to his dad, and said like, "You're never going to see Chris again. You're never going to see me. You're never going to see the babies," and just like threatened them, and then like walked off. And I guess that was the incident that happened prior to him coming out there, and then she didn't tell him about it.
Mhm.
She just like let it go, and then he just spent all week trying to figure out why his family was like
Mm.
not trying to be involved.
Gotcha.
So again, I'm not sure. That was like it just feels really third party, so it's hard for me to like talk about because
Sure.
like, I don't know how
That's okay.
much validation.
So
there is and all that.
beyond the nut allergy for CC, did you know of any other? Did she take meds that you know of other than carrying an EpiPen?
His kids or his wife?
No, his children.
No.
And now, well, if you know anything about his wife's medical conditions, if she had any.
No, I've like read in the newspaper they keep saying, "Oh, she had medical conditions," and I'm like, is that a misprint? Are they talking about CC, or is that just something else I don't know?
So you don't know anything about
Nope.
Shanann having any kind of medical problems?
No.
Okay. Covered Saturday. So there's a phone call Saturday night, actually, from, it can't be Saturday, it had to be Sunday. I wrote that down quickly. Sunday night. Is there anything else you think, let me just back up, from the Saturday where you guys had a meal at the Lazy Dog to prior for the 6 weeks that you guys were serious? And although your dad's here and I think you're probably pretty comfortable, your relationship with Chris was, can you describe your relationship?
I mean, when he was with me, I considered it to be fairly healthy. It was open communication, and it was what I thought was honest, and it was very calm. It was respectful. We got along really well. He gave me my space when I needed it. I gave him his, and anytime like he wanted to take care of it, like anytime that his kids could be in like his life for hours or days or whatever, whenever they were home, I made sure that I wasn't a presence in his life so that he could be the best dad that he needed to be. And I mean, I thought what we had, it was very comfortable for me. I enjoyed it. I think he did very much as well.
You guys, 6 to 8 weeks, 2 months, whatever it was, you guys have an intimate relationship during that time.
Yes.
Okay. So you're pretty serious. Did he ever tell you that he loved you?
Yes, he did.
Did you ever tell him the same?
A couple times.
Notwithstanding that today, because those thoughts may have changed for you, but on, let's go Sunday into Monday or Monday, did you still love him on those days?
I think it was something where it was like I said it a few times and I meant it, but he definitely felt the urge to say it to me a lot more than I did to him because it was just all very new to me, and it was like, take your time with this. Like, you don't need to like rush that, you know? Like, I remember when he was in North Carolina and he was like trying to patch things up with his wife, and he told me he loved me, and I was like, don't say that to me. Like, please go try to fit. And I mean, and that might even be in the text too, where it's like, don't say those words to me and then go try to make peace with your wife and lay in bed with another woman. Like, just don't do that. And I was like, it's not that I don't appreciate what you're saying to me. It's like, it just didn't sit right for me, you know? So I just feel like...
Almost like an insecurity where he had to say that to you? Or?
I don't know. I think he like... looking back at all this now, I don't think he was trying to fix things with her. So saying "I love you" to me seemed like probably something that he genuinely meant. Like, I love this woman, and regardless of where he was going to end up that night. But to me, in the way that I was perceiving things, he had told me that he was trying to fix things with her. So it's just like, this is an inappropriate time, and I wasn't mad at him. And I'm pretty sure that's in the text too, where it was very like calm, but it's just like, it's almost disrespectful, where it's like, please don't. I'm like, if we get to that point where it is you and me, like, yes, you can say that, but not then. Like, that's...
So you thought he was very genuine when he said that?
Yeah, I did. I mean, and he wrote it. It's in all those cards I gave you. Not in all of them, but
Okay.
like the later ones.
And
Thank you.
when you said it to him, you said you meant it when you said it.
Yes, I just didn't say as frequent as he said it. Like, sometimes he would say it, and I was just like, for me, it was still like very, very new, so I kind of like took my time and only said it when I was just like, this is a really important moment.
So you got, I mean, in the short period of time that you guys were together, he
Yes.
became very attached to you.
Yes. Very,
I
very
mean, he's
attached.
sending cards.
Flowers.
He's telling you he loves you. He sends you flowers. Does he buy you any other gifts?
Nope. I wouldn't have wanted them anyways. Flowers is enough. You can't. I don't need expensive stuff.
Okay. But he becomes very attached to you.
Yes.
You guys are talking multiple times a day, at least. You're
All the time.
You're seeing each other on a regular basis.
Yep.
So it's a very and his wife is not around, nor are his children. So there's a lot of time for you guys to build your relationship in this first four weeks or so. Is that fair?
Yeah, and even when she was back, I mean, it was still like we were still spending time together. He was still spending time with his children, and I had my own life. Like, I mean, there was one week where I just like went out of town with my friends for my birthday. I wasn't even around the whole like last few days of June up until the 3rd of July. I was like gone, and then there was another like last weekend I had a friend impromptu come in town from out of state, and I hosted her for a few days, and it's like I still did my own thing all the time. Like, whether he was there or not, like, if my friends were like, hey, we want to make plans, I would tell them, like, we're not hanging out today because I want to go see my mom or my dad.
Did your friends know about him?
Nope.
Why?
Because it's like he's with 2 women right now. They don't
Okay.
need to know about
So
that.
if you had a boyfriend of 4 to 8 weeks on a regular, I don't know if you were married prior or if you had a boyfriend before, but if you had a steady boyfriend, you would have let people know. I think you told me before we got started that you just told your dad about Chris
No, I wouldn't
recently.
have told them. I wouldn't have told
Okay.
people. It's too early. I mean, people...
So you don't tell your friends, hey, I
No,
got a
because
boyfriend.
people come and go. I mean,
Okay.
dating scene these days is like, it sucks. I mean, so, no, I wouldn't. I mean, it would have to be something, even with Sean. I think I was with Sean for probably like 6 or 7 months before I brought him home to my family. I mean, I really,
Okay.
same with, that was the guy I was in a previous relationship with, but I
But
mean,
this one, you were a little bit more. You said he's with 2 women. Was that one of your considerations for not telling anybody about him?
Yes, well, I mean, it was like, okay, like this, to me, it wasn't going to be an extended thing. Like, if it got to the point where we were, like, dating for, like, 3 or 4 months and he's still talking about, oh, I'm going to move out, I'm going to sell the house, I think at that point I probably would have just been like, I don't think you're really, like, doing these things you say you're going to do, and I probably would have just, like, left, because at that point, it's not fair. It wasn't fair to me in the first place. It wasn't fair to her in the first place. It wasn't fair to any of us in the first place. It wasn't fair to his family for him to have an affair. It wasn't fair to me to have him lie to me and make me think that everything is going to plan. And still to this day, I don't even know what's a lie and what's not. I don't even know if they were, like, filing for divorce. I don't know if they were putting the house up. I don't even know anymore what is real and what is not. But what I do know is it's just like, that wasn't fair to me either, because if I'd have known not even all the truth, but like obviously some of it, I wouldn't have even engaged in any of this in the first place. And it just, I mean, and that's the part for me, just like on my personal level, outside of everything that is happening, that is going to affect me long term. It's like, I'm going to wake up every day and know that, like, this mom and her unborn child and these 2 little girls are not around anymore, and it breaks my heart. It is so, oh my God. And then I have to think about, like, the consequences of his actions and how they affect everybody else. Like, all of these, her family's impacted. My name is about to be, like, slandered for probably a while. I don't know how long it's going to take to heal, but I would not be surprised if it's going to be hard to go out in public sometimes for a couple of years. And that really hurts me. I'm just like, this is a horrible, horrible thing. Like, how dare you, you know? And people aren't going to understand that. You know, they're going to say, oh, you know, you're the woman that had an affair with this man who took out his whole family. And I take a step back and it's just like, I didn't know. Like, he's so disgusting. I'm so ashamed of him and everything. And I just, oh, those little girls. They're so little. They're so little.
We talked a little bit earlier about getting some help for these things, and we can provide that.
Okay.
At really no cost. Through the state.
One more. We just want to make sure there's resolution.
Absolutely.
That's why we come to you guys to
Yeah.
pound it down
Hey,
until there's
I'm
nothing left.
sorry that you're talking again today. I really am. I don't want to put you through any more trauma than you've already been through. There is reasons for everything that we're doing today and what occurred. And I'm sorry. I genuinely am sorry. These are not things that we like to do twice. It's the same thing with other types of victims from other crimes. We want to do it once and we want to be done. Unfortunately, we didn't know yesterday what we know today, and that's why we're here, because we need this video. And I am sorry, because I know it's hard to talk about it.
But it's so sad, and she's pregnant.
And you know what? On our end, we didn't.
And they're so cute. They're so little. Like, wow. Why? How? I don't even understand how you could, like, bring yourself to do that to somebody who's, like, that big. Oh, Jesus.
Take a minute. Do you want to step out for a minute?
No, I just need to chill with my eyes closed for a sec. I still cannot believe this is happening. Alright, let's keep going, because we're just getting to the meat of this whole situation.
Let's get to the phone call on Saturday from 9 to 11. What did you guys, or pardon me, on Sunday from 9 to 11?
Yeah, we talked a few times. So, Sunday, I think so. I need to think. I can't even think.
Take a couple breaths and take a second.
Sunday night. I don't even know. I don't think I was, like, concerned about anything at that point.
You guys had had a nice meal the night before. You knew his wife was probably coming home late that evening.
Oh, you know what? I still don't remember what we talked about. Honestly, we talk about so much random stuff. Like, it's so hard to pinpoint some of these things. I don't remember what we talked about. I do remember that was a long phone conversation, though. We probably talked about all sorts of stuff. One thing I do remember, though, that I didn't remember earlier when I was talking to Mark. So this is, like, where I'm starting to remember, like, little bits and pieces. I don't remember. Yeah, I know. So the phone conversation, I don't remember what was in the phone conversation. Probably nothing of relevance, to be honest with you. But usually he talks to me when he's, like, down in the basement in his bed before he goes to bed and before I go to bed. And I could hear the TV on, which I thought was kind of weird. I didn't ask him. I just heard it in the background. And I remember thinking, and it was, like, right before we got off the phone, I was like, why the hell is he up? And there's like no TV downstairs, so I was like, well, maybe I
So
don't know.
no TV in the basement where he usually calls you from.
Yeah, and I don't know how many TVs they have. Like, I've never been in their bedroom. Like, I went upstairs once, and it was like to their little playroom, and I just like looked at it, and I was like, that's super cute that your girls have books, and that was like it. And other than that, I have never been in any of those rooms in that upstairs. Like, to me, it was just like, you don't know. Like, ever. I had no... So, I don't know if he has any other TVs. I'm assuming by, like, how much other nice stuff they have in their house, it wouldn't surprise me. So, I'm not quite sure what room he was in at that point. But I just remember hearing the TV. And I was like... It was just weird to me. Because I was like, why are you watching TV right now? It is, like, super late. And that was the only thing...
And he had phoned you? Or were you guys already talking when the TV was going? Or...
I just remember, like, I, like, picked up on it, like, later, but I don't think it was, like, throughout the whole conversation.
Okay.
Like, I just remember it being towards the end, because I remember thinking, like, wow, it's really late.
Something I didn't ask you about the house, because you'd been there twice, and it just made me remember. Do you remember how you guys accessed the house?
That's a good question. So... Once through the garage, and I think once through the front door. I think the first time was through the front door, I think. And I think the second time was through the garage.
Was there anything unique about either of the doors when you went into the house that might not be typical of another house?
Like a unique door?
Not the
they
door
have a
itself.
camera on their door.
Okay,
I mean,
there's
I
a
know
camera on the which door?
It's on the front door, isn't it?
I don't know. I'm asking
I
you.
think so.
Okay.
I don't know.
Did he use a key to access the house?
No. He did not. The first time I went over there, he just let me in. And then the second time, did we go through the garage? I don't remember. I've been through his garage before. I went through his front door once, though, because I remember he had just cleaned... It was the first time I went through his front door, because he had just cleaned his carpets, and he had moved all the furniture out of the way, and the furniture was kind of in the way of the door. And he's like, the door doesn't open all the way right now. I'll move all the furniture back when the carpet dries. So I do remember that, just kind of offhandedly. And the second time, I want to say we went through his garage, because I remember his garage. I remember, yeah.
So he was at the house when you went there. You were never there by yourself.
He
right?
was at...
Or he
no.
took you there.
The first time, he was already there,
Okay.
and I met up with him. And the second time, we went there together.
So the front door, I asked if he had used a key.
He let me in.
Okay. So there's a, those keypads where you can enter an access code. Do you remember seeing that on his door?
I want to say vaguely, but to be honest with you, I don't remember. Like, he let me in that day. That
So
was
he never
so
gave
long
you
ago.
he never gave you the code to access his home?
No,
Okay.
not at all.
You talked about a security system. There was a camera on the front door. Was that just like what a Ring doorbell is that goes to your phone?
I don't even know what it looked like. I only
Okay.
know that it existed either because A, I wasn't paying attention the first time I was over there, but B, because of all the stuff that's going on right now. That's the only reason I know
Okay.
it's in
Did you remember
existence.
seeing any cameras anywhere in the house?
No.
Okay. Did he ever tell you about the alarm system or give you an access code to the alarm system?
No. I wouldn't have asked for that. I wouldn't have wanted that anyways.
Sorry to regress to that.
No, you're
Go
okay.
back to the phone call, or where you noticed the television in the background of the
Yeah.
phone call.
Yep. So I didn't know what room he was in, but I was just like, I just thought it was weird. Because he's always like, before I go to bed and I lay down, he's always like kind of trying to do the same thing. We just talk. It's like a really chill thing till one of us is about to pass out, and then that's like the end of it. But it was strange because I was like, the TV's on. I remember I was thinking, I was like, maybe he's waiting up for her. And then I was like, maybe not. I didn't know. It wasn't something that like alerted me. It was just different from his
Out of character
standard
for him.
operating procedure. Because whether his wife is home or she's gone, he's always got kind of like the standard op when he calls me. So that's why it was kind of like unique.
Okay.
Because it doesn't really fluctuate when she's there and when she's not there. He's pretty like free reign with what he does.
So anything important that you recall during that conversation about the children, about his wife, about what he was doing the next day, what he had planned, anything like that? Did he tell you any of that information?
I remember he told me he had to go to the field and not to the office on Monday morning.
Okay. Did he specifically say where he needed to go on Monday morning?
No, I don't ask him for those sites. There's like, Anadarko's got like thousands of sites. If he were to tell me, I wouldn't even
They're
know.
just like random numbers and stuff, right?
Well, he told me, he said, I got to go to a site. I got to go check out like a valve or something where they think that they had a release. Something like that.
Did he mention the town or anywhere?
No. He just told me that that's what he had to go do. He's
Okay.
like, he was like, I won't see you in the office in the morning. Because I see him, but I don't actually like talk to him. Like I will go in the cafeteria, I will put my lunch in the fridge, and him and his whole team are sitting in there, and I don't talk to any of them. I just walk out. But anyways, yeah, he's like, so I won't see you, I'm going to the field, which is not an uncommon thing for the ops guys to like just go straight to the field. Like it happens. Like typically they go to the office, I would say like 3 or 4 days a week, but there are days where him and his other team members are not there. Or like I'll get in there and some days the cafeteria is packed and they're all there.
Okay.
And other days I get in there and there's only like 3 or 4 of them.
So it didn't cause you any concern that he said,
No.
I'm going to the field on Monday, I won't see you. That wasn't,
No.
that's
it
happened
didn't-
before.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
it wasn't something, and it's not just him, it's like that whole team. Like, you can just tell when they've got, like, a lot going on, because I'll walk in and there'll be, like, 2 of them, as opposed to, like, 6 or 7.
Do you know what he did Sunday during the day?
I don't even know what I did on Sunday during the day. I am so tired. Let me just think about this. Daniel came over Friday, I hung out with him Saturday, and then Sunday,
When did Jim come in?
Monday.
Huh.
Jim got here Monday. What did I do on Sunday? I am like drawing a blank. I'm really tired. I don't know. Can I get back to you on that?
Did you guys have any conversations on Saturday night during your meal, what he might be doing on Sunday?
I'm sure we did. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank because I haven't slept.
If I say that he may have done something with his children, would that refresh
Oh, yes.
your memory?
He went to a birthday party.
Okay. Did you know whose house he was going to?
Nope. But I know that they had a water balloon fight.
Okay. He had one, or his children?
His children did.
Okay.
He said he used to get really into it. He said he got like really interactive with his kids. He's like, some of the adults don't really spend a lot of time playing with the kids, but
We
I
went
always
to
do.
the museum on what day? Saturday or Sunday?
Sunday.
Okay.
That's right. So
Okay.
that's why I was like, was I hanging out with you? God.
Very
so
memorable event, huh?
We,
was,
me and him and my stepmother and
wife
my
and-
sister
yeah.
went to the museum, and
What
that's
museum?
right, the Denver Museum of Nature and Science. And they went to brunch prior to that, and I skipped brunch, and I went to the gym.
You shouldn't have. It was good.
I had to do core day. That was the last time I worked out, actually.
That's
so
what we did Sunday. Okay.
Yeah, so core day, and then we went to the museum, and then
When did he tell you about the water balloon fight on Sunday evening during your conversation on the phone?
I think so.
Okay. So
think
you don't
so.
know whose house he went to on Sunday,
No.
but you knew it was for a child's birthday?
Yeah, and he had told me about that in advance, really. So I don't know if it was Saturday that he had told me that he was going to go that birthday, or like Friday. I just remember he was like, "I got to go to this birthday party
Okay.
with my kids."
Any other conversation that makes sense?
I mean, honestly, at this point, I'm really tired, so I know there are certain things that I need to tell you guys that we'll get to as these days progress.
Yep.
But in all honesty, if it doesn't stand out to me now,
Today?
it probably
That's fine.
wasn't relevant.
What about that 9 o'clock thing you were telling me on Monday?
Oh, that he told me? Oh yeah, well we'll get there. We'll get there. We're still on Sunday.
So we're on
night.
Sunday.
We're
gonna get to-
literally-
we're gonna get to-
This is gonna be a long.
We're going to
night.
get there to Monday. We're getting there. So Sunday night, or Sunday during the day, you had your own personal stuff going on
Mhm.
with your family. You never see him on Sunday. Is that accurate?
No, I didn't see him. What did I do the rest of the day? I came home. I think I might have just chilled at my house. I don't remember. I think I cleaned my house. I don't know. I didn't see him though.
Okay. And
Yeah, Saturday was the last time I saw him.
Okay. Sunday, you're at home. You talk to him. We know you have a conversation in the late evening hours, and then you go to sleep on Sunday night. When's the next time you talk with Chris?
Probably Monday morning.
Do you know what time?
No, I mean, so we used to like randomly text each other like throughout the day, but we both get really busy. So some days like I don't hear a lot from him, and some days I don't text him until like 2:00 in the afternoon because I'm just like busy. And I remember I didn't hear a lot from him that day, which was like, that's not out of the normal for either one of us during the day. But at one point I do remember he like texted me and he's like, oh, it's been a really busy day. And then like said some other stuff, which I'm sure you will find in my text. What he said, I don't know. It wasn't obviously anything that was like alerting to me. That's what I'm saying. Like at this point, like I remember really key things, but if it's like a conversation that I'm like, I don't remember exactly what was discussed, it's because it was probably just bullshit. Like just talking to each other. Yeah.
Small talk stuff.
Yeah. But I remember he was busy that day, and we didn't talk that much. And then I clocked out at 3 is what my time card says. That's what I was showing Mark the other day. And I got home to go meet my buddy. One of my good friends was coming over to my house, and he actually has a key to my house, so he was actually there when I got there. And
who's that?
My friend Jim. And so Jim came over, and I got home. He was there. He had like just walked in the door, and I remember like briefly after he got there, I checked my texts. I mean, briefly after I met up with Jim, I like glanced at my texts, and Chris said something about like my family's not home, or like my wife and kids aren't home, like something to that effect. And I told Mark, because he asked me for a time, and I don't have an exact time, but I remember it was like right after I walked.
That was a text message, though.
Yeah, it's in a text, and it's like, it was like briefly after I walked in the door, so based off how long it takes me to get home from work and when I clocked out, it's probably about 3:45 p.m. Texts me and tells me that. And like, he knows when I get off of work too, so he doesn't always bug me if I'm busy, so I don't know what's up with that, but that's when he sends that to me. And
so you're saying that he would have known that you would have had your phone available to you and not been at work when he sent you that text message?
Yes. That's what I'm trying to say.
So looking back at it, you think it was purposefully sent at that time?
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm just asking your feeling on that.
Yes, and then he said, call me when you can. And I was
There was
like,
no other communication between you and him that morning, on Monday morning?
well, there was, but it was like random.
But nothing about this event?
No.
About like my wife's missing, or
No.
anything?
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
And you knew he wasn't coming to the office because he had told you that Sunday night.
Yeah, and then he goes, and so like they're only in the office for the morning. Like
Right.
some days it's longer than others, but I would say by a maximum of 7:30 every single morning they are all gone, and they don't come back unless they have like a meeting or something that they have to attend. So like not seeing him for the rest of the day is not like an unnormal thing.
Okay.
Like, but like I'm saying, like we don't really. The only reason we interact was kind of like by an off chance thing. Like I don't work with him.
Mm-hmm.
So he, we talked like randomly throughout the day, but it was really sporadic, and he seemed pretty busy, so we didn't talk too much. Like I said, didn't put too much thought into it. It happens all the time. Waited till about 3:45, then sent that text to me, and yes, he does know that I will be home at that point. Or getting home.
Did you give Mark Jim's information?
No, I would really not like to involve him in this.
Okay.
He does not know about this. He doesn't know any of this is occurring.
Okay.
Like I was
So
literally
he knows certainly through the media that something's occurred.
Yeah, he's
with
like
Chris.
out of town. He's probably has
Okay.
no idea. He doesn't know
Okay.
who Chris is. Like he's not. I do not know.
So he's just a friend of yours
yes.
um,
He does
that
not
was
need be
coming to
dragged
your
into this.
apartment and doesn't know anything about Chris. Does he know anything about
No,
Chris? Okay.
nothing. Absolutely
And
not.
we've known Jim for
Yeah.
years and years.
You're not dating him or anything like that?
No,
It's just a
he's
friend.
like one of my very good friends. Like my dad knows him. He's a great guy. He works out of state a lot, so when he's in town, we hang out. But when he's in town and he's off of work, to save time, so I give him the key to my house, one, because I trust him and he's one of my best friends, and two, because sometimes he will just meet me there, because I'll be like, hey, I'm getting off of work, and then if I get stuck in traffic or something, he ends up like sitting outside of my apartment waiting for me to get off of work. So I'm like, here's the key, and like my dog loves him and stuff. So no, he's not.
So he's just a
involved
family
with it.
friend.
Yes, I don't even.
The only
know
reason
if
I
I'm
ask,
dragged into this.
and I'm not really concerned about your location. I think we already have your cell phone records. At some point, did Mark ask you to supply? Did they ask for consent to get cell phone records? That'll probably be done by warrant. If we
Isn't
wanted,
that what you just did?
nope. What I'm talking about is your movement
Oh.
by GPS or by cell phone tower to show where you were. Obviously, and I don't want to cause you concern, we want to know where you were that day too. You're dating a man who did some egregious stuff, and we want to show that you were never near him that day. Period.
I mean, you guys
So-
can track my.
No, yeah, I
stuff.
mean that was something we will have to get a warrant for, anyways. I'm just saying, if we asked for it, would you have any
Yeah,
objections to that?
No, you can have
Right.
it.
So,
I'm
we'll-
a pretty boring person. I
well,
don't
it sounds
go
like
to
you
many
just went to
places.
work that day, and then you came home and you were there at 3:45.
Yeah, like
on
give or
Monday.
take like 5
Yeah,
minutes.
whatever.
But yeah, so 3:45. I meet Jim there. Yeah, I would
And
totally
so
do that.
Jim is understand from an investigative point, he could be a person who could say, yeah, I was there at 3:45. He doesn't know Chris. He doesn't know anything. He could say with one phone call, yeah, she came in at 3:45. Done.
Totally.
Do you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I don't have to ask anything more than, hi, Chris, my name's Kevin. Or Jim. And I'm
Just
not
leave
saying you have to
Jim
give it
alone.
to.
Just leave Jim
But
alone.
if
Jim
at
does not need
some
to be wrapped
point-
up in this.
If at some point I needed Jim's info to, let's say we couldn't find your phone records, would you
you
tell me
can
who
have
Jim
them.
was?
I will give them to you.
Would you tell me who Jim was if I
If
couldn't
you
get
had
him?
to.
Okay.
I don't really want to
Great.
involve him in this. That's not
Perfect.
fair to him. That's not, no, if I do not have to do that.
That's fine.
Yeah, so anyways, Chris was like, call me.
And this is the 3:45 text.
Yeah, he sent me like a few. I think there was 3 of them, and I don't remember what the other one said, but something about like, yeah, my family's gone, or I don't remember verbatim, but call me when you can, or call me when you have a chance, something to that effect. And so when he told me call me, I was like kind of alerted, where I was like, okay, what's going on, you know? But first when he told me like his family was like not home, that didn't really seem odd to me that his family wasn't home. It was really vague. I'm like, okay, like, are they at the grocery store? Like, elaborate. And so, you know, and then, but he says, call me like it's like an emergency, but then just says that they're not there. And so I'm like really like floored by that. Well, not like floored, but just kind of like, he says, call me, so I'm concerned. And then he's really vague, so I'm like, maybe he just wants to talk to me? I don't know. I think it took me a little while to like really process the severity of the situation, just because this is not something that you expect to see every day, and the way that he talked to me made me believe that this is not what was going on at all.
Okay, so you make a phone call to him and you guys have a conversation.
I did. I stepped outside.
This is 3:45.
Ish. I mean, well, like, I think I actually interacted with Jim for, like, probably a good 15 or 20 minutes. I mean, he's my guest. He's in my house. So I don't think I called him right away. But, like, I mean, I'm trying to balance the fact that I have my friend here, and then Chris is saying that something needs to be addressed. But to me, it didn't sound like an emergency. I mean, it's all the time. Like, people aren't home right now. You know, so it just... It wasn't like, oh my God, I have to take this call.
It didn't
it's an
register
emergency.
as being
no,
critical.
No. I mean, it was the way he said it, and I was like, okay. So I remember hanging out with Jim for a while, and then I stepped outside, and I made a call like out on my back patio, and I called him, and he didn't answer the phone, and then he texted me back, or no, did he answer the phone? I don't remember. I think he missed my call, and then he called me back. Or he just answered. Either way, it was a very short talk to him where he was just like, I have to go. The cops are here. And I don't remember if he said that on the phone or over text.
That's
I don't
okay.
even, I'm so tired.
That's fine. You don't
But
need
either
the
way,
different-
like,
it's
the
just
cops,
the context.
Yeah, I mean, you guys will figure it out. The cops are here. And I'm just like, all right. And then I remember we were we were texting, but I was like hanging out with my company, so it wasn't like a nonstop text. It was just kind of like I would check my phone every once in a while, and we would communicate with each other. And he was just saying like they weren't there, and that her friend Nikki was there, and that her friend Nikki had called the cops. And I'm like, why would this girl call the cops? And like, I honestly do not remember the order of operations on all of this, but I'm pretty sure the majority of our conversation that night until my friend Jim left the house, which was probably pretty late, I don't even know what time, like 9 or 10, was all via text. So you should have this via text. Like,
Okay.
I don't think we started talking again on the phone until like after my company left. And he was like, I don't know, he just started like giving me details about stuff, and I don't remember what order, but he was saying like Nikki was really upset and that the cops were there and that they were like searching the house, and I was just like, what? You know, like what? Why? And he was telling me that they had like had a disagreement or something like that, and then he told me like she was gonna go to a friend's house, and I was like, okay, well, maybe she left, you know, maybe she just like went to her friends. And then I think I don't remember, but I think he was the one that told me that her cell phone and her purse were still there. I think he told me that.
He told you her cell phone and purse were still there?
I think he did. I don't remember.
What's the significance of that in your mind at that time?
At that point, I thought this woman was really trying to get out of this house.
Okay.
That's what I thought, because he said that they'd had a disagreement, and I was just like, okay, well, I mean, I leave my cell phone at
When
home.
he said disagreement, what did he tell you what it was about, or?
Not at that point. Not at that
Okay.
point. So, again, like, you guys are going to have to check these texts, because it's all, like, my brain feels
That's
like
okay.
a mashed potato right now. But I remember him saying that, and I'm just thinking, like, well, maybe she was in a rush, you know? Like, maybe she was just like, I'm going to my friends. I'm leaving my cell phone here because I don't want you calling me. I don't want anyone else calling me. I mean, there are days where, like, when I'm outside of work, I will just shut my phone off. I just do it, and it's, like, my way of getting peace. So to me, that, I mean, like, it was weird that it wasn't even that weird to me that she left her phone just because I leave my phone, but it was weird to me that she left her purse. But knowing the fact that that girl was, like, always on her phone, then, yeah, I guess that is kind of odd.
Like, she lived on her phone, I think,
yeah.
pretty much, is my understanding of her and a phone. So, I don't know if you knew that
I did.
until prior to the media stuff, or just from Chris.
I did.
So, did that strike you as odd? But you're
I
thinking
know.
maybe
I mean,
she just left.
I just thought she needed to, like, get away from the situation. I mean, that didn't seem that awkward to me, that a couple that is going through a separation would be like, I need to leave. I just need some space. Like, it didn't even, like, process. I was like, okay, like, give her some space, you know? And on that note, too, when he was in, we're going to jump back for just